What's up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. It is the 44th anniversary of Star Wars: A New Hope. If you think we're not going to talk about that later, you're crazy. We are. But right now, we're going to talk about something that I think is much more universally loved in this area, and I'm talking about LSU football. Every Tuesday, we are lucky enough to sit down with the head man from LSU football, Coach Ed Orgeron. Coach, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning, guys. You've been proud of our football team this morning at 6 o'clock, running the conditioning test with Tommy Moffitt. And for the most part, our team is in great shape. The freshman watch, great group of freshmen who just reported on Saturday. And we still got about 4 guys left to finish high school. Football, what an outstanding team this morning that was in pretty good shape.
Coach, that voice sounding like it maybe got flexed a little bit over the weekend, maybe a little football school. How was he? I'm guessing you were motivating the boys this morning?
Oh, no question. This morning, and yesterday we had our first day of football school. We have a certain amount of minutes of film, and then we can take them out and do some conditioning skills specific to their position. And so we had a half hour of that, and obviously the first day out there was fun. I thought our guys came back in great shape with a great mindset.
Coach, last week you talked about having the coaching staff there to welcome in players, right, and kind of help move them into the dorms, and that seemed to be something that people really responded well to. And then we also about how crazy it was, like you're going to be meeting some of these guys for the first time.
Yeah.
How did everything go over the weekend, making all these new connections?
Yeah, it was great, man. We had guys there on Saturday. Everybody came in on time, early, fired up. What a great group. I had a meeting with them at 8 o'clock, and most of their parents were in there. And it was kind of like, recruiting's over here. Here's what we're going to do here at LSU. But the guys were in the front row sitting well. But it was kind of odd to be talking to your team and your recruits for the first time. The first time I saw Mike Jones in person.
Yeah.
The first time I saw a lot of those guys in person. Now, some of the guys in Baton Rouge I've seen from the games and stuff. But for the most part, it was the first time I met them and the parents. But after we talked and after I met them, it's like I've known them all their life,
And it's also a process, Coach, that you've been in coaching for a lifetime. So on some level, like you go through this every year because no two teams are the same. Where on that first day of summer, it's kind of like, okay, these are now this team's true first steps. Everyone's here. We're ready to go. Even, 4 guys still to report, but still, for essentially the whole team is there. Can you describe the kind of feelings that you get in that moment when you're stepping up to the podium to address that team?
Yeah, I feel like I got a veteran team. I got to feel like we got great leadership. I'm very confident in our coaching staff. I think that we got all the tools to be successful. We just got to work hard, continue to work hard. We had a great spring. I think the difference of this year to years past, this reminds me of the championship years that we had as far as the leadership and the guys' attitude. They've been a great attitude. There's no moaning, no griping. Everybody's early, ready to work, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. So I feel confident about this football team.
Coach, how was how many 110s were run during the conditioning test today, if that's still the test y'all do?
At 10 110s at the end. At 10 110s, but they had 10, but that was at the end. We had 3 300-yard sprints that we had to run in a certain time, and the 3 300-yard sprints and 10 110s.
Always a fun day. The boys are feeling good today. It sounds like you're pretty pleased with the shape that this team has showed up in. Is that kind of a rangefinder for the leadership of a team like this, right? Like, do you use that conditioning test as kind of a judgment on, are these guys doing the work when they're on their own?
Exactly. That's what I talked to them after that. I'm here on the weekends most of the time. I see guys working out on their own. We call in guys, they're working out, they follow the program that Tommy Moffitt gives them, and you can see it today. A lot of those guys were winning those sprints. A lot of those guys wasn't bending over. There was one thing that we don't want to see is any signs of discomfort. And after you finish a 300-yard sprint or 110, the human nature is to bend over. We want our guys, so we say big chest and big eyes, we want them standing up. And those guys that were standing up and they were leading at the end are the guys that are actual leaders on the football team.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, if you bent over, that just meant you were tacking on another 110 for the entire
Yes,
team. Always,
exactly.
always fun. Coach, how about football school? Yeah, 110 is not my strong suit. How about football school yesterday? What does that first football school look like with the full team, like in comparison to the football schools from the spring, since you're kind of working in some new faces?
You know, I walked in the meeting room. It was full. I went, wow. I mean, that looked good. I mean, we've got a nice big squad. We got long lines and stretching. But, you know, it looked good. We deep. We got 3 or 4 strings on both lines. We look deep. I'm looking at the linebacker group. We got more linebackers, inside linebackers, than we ever had here.
Okay.
And I was really impressed with the transfers. Mike Jones and Major Burns, man. Wow. Like two good gets right there. I'm so glad, you know, Major Burns is from Baton Rouge. I'm so glad that we could get him back home. His mama and him were happy. We had a nice conversation, and I think he's going to be a great addition to our football team. So is Mike Jones. So to see those guys and see all the freshmen, I mean, this is a great freshman group, and to see them all together. And as you guys know, Jake and T-Bob, the guys that were mid-year, I think of them as veteran already. But they're in
Yeah.
this class. If you put all them together, we have a strong team.
Well, and Coach, it's funny that you mentioned Mike Jones and Sam Burns. Sam Burns, I keep doing that. Major Burns, because, I mean, maybe nobody in the country has been better than y'all when it comes to, okay, we need an answer here. Let's go get a guy who is like ready to play immediately. And the list goes on and on. Obviously, Joe Burrow highlights it, but I mean, there's even like Terrence Alexander, right? There's Brady Vahoko who ends up playing. It's just guy after Jabril Cox. It's guy after guy. What has led to that success, to finding these answers in an area where it's really new, and a lot of schools just don't seem to have their head wrapped around it yet?
You know, one thing, T-Bob, Jake, we do roster management every day. And we look at our roster, we look at the needs of what we need. We have a great personnel department. So Derek Finansky and I and Austin sit down and we look at our roster and say, okay, if this happens, this is what we're going to need. Now, when we do this, our personnel goes and find the guys that are going to be available. We follow the transfer portal, and we look at it, and we have a list of 1, 2, 3 guys at each position, just like the NFL would do with free agency or stuff like that. So as soon as we need something, we go look at that list and we go get them.
Talking to LSU head football coach Ed Orgeron, full team reporting yesterday, conditioning test this morning. The first steps of this 2021 football team now officially taken. But I know you, Coach, even though this team is here now, you always are recruiting as well. Are you starting to get fired up? When do the official visits start rolling in? I mean, we're probably like 2 weeks away here before people can start touring around again?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, we got about 18, 19 of them already set. And then, you know, June 1st, unofficial visit starts, so we expecting some guys in June 1st with unofficial visits. And so that's next Tuesday. The next Tuesday, we got unofficial visits. We got football in school. We got working out. So the campus is going to be rolling. We're going to be rolling. Then we got our camps. You know, we got we going to Southeastern's camp. We've partnered up with the schools from Louisiana. They've done a great job. They come to our camp. We go to their camp. And then we got O-line, D-line camp on Saturday, kicking camp. Ooh. We got skills camp on Sunday. And then we have 6 official visits. So this weekend is going to be packed. But the coaches are resting up. We're eager. We're ready to go.
Hell yeah, man. The grind never stops when you're at LSU. So how do you – because I think that the thing you were saying about Southeastern there, Coach, is worth highlighting because when you got this job, I think it's fair to say that maybe LSU wasn't in the best spot relationship-wise with some other schools, and it seems like one of your main goals was to rebuild those ties, kind of Louisiana first mentality. Do you feel like you've been able to create that over the last few years?
Oh, I feel good about it. I got to give the credit to the Southeastern and all the schools, Louisiana Tech, McNeese, everybody, Grambling, Southern, Nicholls State, UL. Everybody has come to us and say, listen, hey, we're going to keep Louisiana strong. We're going to stay together in these camps. We all going to go to each other's camps, support each other, and support Louisiana football. T-Bob, as you know, I played at Northwestern. I coached at Nicholls State. I coached at McNeese State. I got friends all over. And I always felt that the Tigers should welcome in the state schools that make us strong. I got to give them some credit. They've agreed to what we want to do, and it's been fantastic for the last 3 years now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right, Coach. And you got Cody over. I mean, it's just like your tendrils are already all throughout Louisiana football. Okay, Coach, last one here, and then we'll let you go because obviously you're very busy. How is the game planning going? I think last week, was it past UCLA? Who's on the docket this week in terms of laying down that initial groundwork?
Well, this year, as you know, we got a lot of stuff going on. We have done UCLA, we've done Mississippi State, we got McNeese State and Central Michigan towards the end of the month. But I cleared the slate.
Okay.
This is about football school. This is about conditioning. This is about our football team and recruiting. And our guys, some of us left there at 10 o'clock last night. So it's a busy week, and I want our guys to focus on the LSU Tigers and us getting better.
Absolutely love it. Coach Ed Orgeron, head man of the LSU football team. Thank you so much for joining us during this busy time, giving some insight, and have a great day. Have fun with the boys.
All right, always good to be on the show. Go Tigers.
Yes, sir. There is Coach O. Yeah, as you can tell, no rest for the weary, right? That schedule, as far as the football camps, the recruiting, sounds pretty insane. And that's all interspersed with, like he said, like football school, meeting this team, wild stuff. But hey, that's the price of success in major college football. It just is what it is. All right, when we get back, let's close out hour number 1. We got to play that Brooks Koepka video, one of the realest sports videos that I think you will ever see. Also, maybe I go off on a New Hope tangent here. We will see. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.